Hey there travelers, today we're talking about Cancun, Mexico, where the sun is hot, the tequila is flowing, and the beaches are definitely calling your name. Trust me, I think these tips will definitely make sure you have an enjoyable time in Cancun, and if you stick around to number 10, I do think it's one that most people miss. Let's get into it. First up is your reusable water bottle. It is pretty much your best friend for staying hydrated. While in Cancun, Mexico, you should definitely stick to bottled water because no one wants to experience Montezuma's revenge. The water bottle or reusable water bottle will be perfect for keeping the water ice cold on all those excursions you go on. Just to clear up one other thing that most people ask about when going to Cancun, yes, you can use the ice in Cancun because the water in the ice is purified, so your margaritas are safe. Number 2, next on the list of things not to forget is don't forget to book your airport transportation prior to landing down. So the Cancun airport is a bit of a madhouse, especially around the transportation area. So imagine you just got off your long flight, you're looking and you're ready to relax, you walk outside and then you are bombarded by people who want to give you a ride. So if you don't have somebody prepared or ready to receive you and your party, it can get a little crazy. You're there, you're haggling, you're asking different people, you're struggling maybe with a little bit of a language barrier. So have your transportation ready. There's nothing better than someone holding a sign with your name on it that just cuts through the path of chaos. It is pretty much like being a celebrity minus the paparazzi because no one's taking pictures of you because they don't really care. And number 3, don't overindulge in the tequila tastings while you're shopping. Now this may sound like a challenge for you, but I'm not meaning it that way. Yes, the tequila in Mexico is amazing and they have tons of different flavors and many of the shops have tequila tastings to try all the different flavors. But you start going down that road, you become super sauced while you're shopping and you're buying a sombrero you'll never wear. Number 4 is don't only stay at your resort. Don't make the mistake of just staying at your resort in Cancun because there's so much to offer in the surrounding area and even at islands right next door. So the pool, even though the poolside lounging can be great, don't just do that for an entire week or your entire stay. So make sure you pre-book some excursions. Pre-booking usually can save you some money and it'll also ensure that your entire party or family can go on the excursion because certain excursions certainly don't allow certain age groups. So check out maybe Xcaret, which is pretty close to Cancun, which is kind of like an amusement jungle area, or take the ferry boat over to Isla Mujeres, which is an island which is unbelievably beautiful with unbelievable beaches. So make sure you check out some excursions or check out the local area or scenery because it'll certainly make your trip a bit more memorable. This next one is going to be a lifesaver. Do not forget to bring your sunblock, SPF shirts, and hats. So make sure to pack plenty of sunblock from home because buying it at your resort will cost you an arm and a leg. You can certainly head to a local grocery store and get it quite a bit cheaper, but that's just an extra thing you'll have to do outside of relaxing. So make sure you bring enough from home and reapply, and make sure you take it on your excursions as well, because it is one area that many people forget to do, and then you get fried out on your excursion and you're miserable. So make sure you keep reapplying or wearing SPF shirts or wearing hats to cover your face. So next up is a little bit different. Don't forget your credit card. You can certainly pay for dollars for everything in Cancun, Mexico. Just realize that you will get, most of the time you will get change in pesos, which means you're going to be going home potentially with a pocket full of pesos, which isn't totally ideal. I pretty much buy everything with my credit card because obviously the transaction and the currency exchange gets taken care of, and then you don't have to carry around a bunch of loose change, which isn't always great. Just make sure when you are obviously spending on your credit card, you're keeping track of what you're buying because Cancun and all the merchandise and the fun things to do can certainly add up very quickly. Also, the other thing, if you're checking your credit card statement, I probably wouldn't do it on the Wi-Fi or the airport Wi-Fi or the resort Wi-Fi. Just use the hotspot on your phone if you have data, and it'll be safe to look at your bank or your bank statements or anything like that and know that you won't be compromised. Next one goes along with currency and money like the last one, and is don't forget to tip. This one is very important, folks. Tipping is essential in Mexico, and it makes a world of difference to service. The service in Mexico is already incredible, but a tip goes quite a long way, whether that's a maid, bartender, or someone who's taking care of your room. Just giving them a tip definitely goes a long way in the service and the appreciation. I usually always take a stack of 1s and 5s. For a week, I'll probably go through maybe $200 in tipping. So just to give yourself a reference point there, but bring a stack of 1s and 5s from the bank, and then it'll give you plenty of small bills to tip based on the experience or whatever you're doing. And it definitely makes a huge difference in showing your appreciation for the service that is already incredible that you'll be getting. Okay, the next one is a massive one that a lot of people forget to do is don't forget to stay hydrated. No, I'm not talking about tequila and margaritas. I'm talking about actual water. So the heat and the sun in Cancun, Mexico is absolutely brutal, like we spoke about before. But on top of that, most of the all-inclusives, you obviously could potentially be drinking or eating lots of food and salty food and things like that. So don't forget to stay hydrated. You're going to have to drink some water in between all of those amazing all-inclusive free drinks. But with being out in the sun and being in the heat and obviously that taking quite a bit of hydration away from you, you need to make sure you're keeping that water in between. So whether you're using your reusable water bottle, like we said at the beginning, for your frozen drinks, possibly you could just keep this for water that keeps it cold beside you, and then just slam those frozen drinks before they get all watered down. Make sure you're staying hydrated in between. So number 9 is don't be afraid to visit Cancun. I'm sure like many of you, I also heard stories before, but you're going to hear stories about Cancun, about Mexico, about all of that stuff. But we have been there a couple of times now, and we've been there with a large family with children. So even going with families was an exceptional experience. It was actually probably one of our favorite places to visit when it comes to service specifically. Everyone's very kind and very helpful. Not only on top of the excellent service, the food is always great, and the just water and the beauty of the ocean and the water and the surrounding islands and the things to do have always been incredible. So Cancun, Mexico, or Mexico in general, has been a great time for our family on our vacations. So number 10 is the one that I don't think many people have probably talked about or thought about, but it is Google Translate, or even nowadays ChatGPT Translate, because they can both do the same thing or very similar. Don't forget, if you're struggling to communicate with someone in a different language and you may not be versed on that language, just pull out your phone. If you have make sure to download the Google Translate app, because it's probably the easiest solution if you're not too comfortable with AI at this point in time. But just pop that out. You can pop it into conversation mode, or just have them speak into the phone and it'll translate it over to English for text so you can read. Or if you have headphones in, it'll translate for you into your ear, and then you'll be able to understand what they're asking you. Or if you're asking for directions or anything like that, you could actually communicate back and forth so that you can speak into the phone then and translate back to them in their local Spanish. And then you can actually have a legitimate conversation with someone that you may have been struggling with to understand before. And it just, I don't know, it helps the human connection. It helps you get things done or go places, or you may be able to venture out to things maybe you were a little bit afraid of doing before because you have a way to communicate with other people. It's pretty amazing. So there you have it, travelers. Those are my 10 do nots, don'ts to keep in mind while you're visiting Cancun, Mexico. I hope they were very helpful for you, and I hope they would help you have an amazing and a hassle-free vacation. Don't forget to check out my favorite travel gear in the description down below. I have Amazon affiliate links down below inside the description, so certainly check that out if you're looking for gear to travel with or things that I always carry with me. Hopefully this was helpful. You can check out my other Mexico related content in the Mexico playlist. I'll also leave that down below. And if you have any questions about visiting Cancun, Mexico, certainly let me know in the comments, and we will see you on the next video.